Hey everybody, this is an important video about the simplest biz, and we're going to go over frequently asked questions about this business model that we get through folks getting in touch with us through appointments or emails. Some of the most common questions, and I'm going to go over in pretty good detail about each one. Now, before we get started, of course, thumbs up on the video if you end up liking this video. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, the Simplest Biz YouTube channel. I'd like for you to also leave a comment below if you like us. And of course, you can book an appointment. I'll have the links below as well and give you some options as well, because we have one calendar that's a little full up now. So at the end of the video, I'm going to show you another option to get an earlier appointment. Okay? So let's start off. And here's the funny thing. I had this all set up like a beautiful PowerPoint presentation, and it froze up twice and I lost it. So now I'm going old school with the Word doc, Microsoft Word. Hold on one moment. So yeah, I had ended up going doing this on Microsoft Word, and hopefully I'll get the message across, but it's been a fiasco. So I hope y'all bear with me. Let's go get into the brass tacks of this. And one of the most common questions I get, will this work where I live? Okay. Now, if you live out in the middle of Montana and you don't have a business within 100 miles of you, or a city, or if you live up in the mountains and you're 100 miles away or 200 miles away from anything, well, no, it's not the perfect scenario. Could you drive 100 miles and to the nearest city and work one day in that city and make it work? Yes, you could. But where you locally live in those types of scenarios, no. But if you're in a population, you know, I'll just got to go with what happens with me. And I deal in population centers of 22,000, 11,000, 12,000, and I have a lot of business in that area. And I'm going to scroll down and show you, because I did a video just the other day on this topic to help you understand if you have a population area that small, like 11,000, 12,000, 20,000, there's still a lot of business to be had even in those small markets, especially if there's a decent sized city within an hour from there as well, because they end up servicing that larger city as well. So they have more industry even in the smaller locales. Okay. So I'm going to scroll down and give you a preview of that video that you need to look up. You will need to look that up. It's called Will the Pallet Business Work Where I Live? And that's on the Simplest Biz YouTube channel. So check that out for further detail, but I'm going to give you a quick snapshot. This is Birmingham, where I live, right? And do you see that little dot right there, this little section? I'm working a little 3-4 block radius right in this little section here that has a ton of business just in that section. And in fact, I'm going to scroll in. See, you even have all these dozens and dozens of other pockets of industry all around Birmingham as well. Even some you can't hardly see unless I zoom in a little closer. These little pockets don't look much from this far, zoomed out. But when you zoom in, it's a ton of stuff. Now, I want to help you understand, if you just have a small little radius like I do, in just in one small area, and I don't have everything in this area, but I started to mark them. This is a supplier, and this is a buyer, and this is a supplier, and this is a buyer, and this is a supplier, and this is a supplier, and this is a buyer, and this is a buyer. And I have several other ones in this area right up here as well, buyers and suppliers, and in down here and over here. So you're just seeing, this is just a little 5 block, not even 5 block little space, which can totally change your life. And going back to the question, well, is it saturated? How many of those little tiny little 1 block areas are there in any given municipalities? There are hundreds of them, dozens upon dozens at least. And you do not have to dominate the whole city, right? So I have 4 students in Birmingham, and it doesn't matter because I can't do it all. They can't do it all. There's tons of opportunity out there. It's just too big a niche for that all to happen. So the bottom line, can it get saturated? No. I mean, it's just too big. There's too many different ways of going about it. Plus, there's even brokering where it doesn't limit you to a specific area. You can do your whole state as far as brokering goes. All right. So in extreme circumstances, like out in the middle of a cornfield with nothing around you for hundreds of miles, no, don't do this. But as far as having any type of decent sized town or city to work with, we're going to show you the methods to make that happen. Okay. Let's go to the next one. John, do you have students in my area? Well, you better hope so. And that's, well, what do you mean? It'd be good. I have a ton of students that do this, and I have several in Atlanta. And some of them do it on their own and develop their own little areas because, like we were showing in the previous slides, it doesn't take a large area to make this work. You just get your sliver of the action. But I also have students that team up and help each other out, especially in the beginning. Hey, I got this deal going on. What do you have? And vice versa. And they join forces sometimes in the beginning. And I know several of them that have stayed together. And they both have the same knowledge set by going through the course. And they can double their efforts. So as stated in above here, this little area in the whole swath of huge Birmingham, this circle doesn't represent that area. It's a tiny little spot inside. Regardless, there's so much to be dealt with that you don't have to worry about such things. In fact, again, go to YouTube and look up will the pallet business work where I live? Okay, and you'll get a full understanding of why I'm answering you in the manner I am. How long before I make money doing this? Well, there's hustle muscle involved and there's action involved, right? But, if you get through the course, the average time to get through the course is about 4 to 6 days. And once you're done with that, you've taken action to prepare yourself to hit the road, hit the pavement running. Where you're going, what you're going to say, which questions you're going to ask, which problems you're going to solve, who you're going to talk to, and you know your stuff as well, where you can have solutions for these suppliers and buyers and how to get to exclusivity. So I've had students, of course, within their second day be flipping stuff. Now, I think that first week, if you hustle and hit the business I'm telling you to go to, you can certainly have business, but you got to get out there and make the connections. It doesn't fall into your lap, right? You got to work it. But the long-term play for working it like that in the beginning is you get a customer that orders from you week after week after week after week for decades, like I've done. And that's a huge revenue stream coming in on a weekly basis for some hustle muscle in the beginning. And it's kind of like a scavenger hunt with a map. I'm going to give you the map with an X on it. And I'm going to tell you where to go and what to say and how to say it and help these businesses the correct way. So now if you're lazy and you see 2 businesses a week or something, it's going to take you longer, right? But there's no reason to act in that manner. Hit it hard, hit it fast, go where I'm telling you to go. You're getting a suppliers list and buyers list to make this happen. So make it happen. Make your dream happen. And that takes knowledge and action combined. So do both. All right. Next one. I just answered this. How long does it take to get through the course? Average 4 to 6 days. I'd say 4 to 5 days in the training itself, the 13 modules of the course. And then I would spend at least, to start with, a half a day in the Facebook group. You could spend a week in there if you wanted to. But, I don't want to cramp your brain with all the information. The Facebook group, in addition to the course, has just of me, probably 105 last I counted, additional videos. And then there's thousands of posts from students, and everybody's helping each other out in that group. So when you get done with the training, be sure to get yourself in that Facebook group, because I got some students doing some really cool stuff, and I want you to know that as well. All right. And plus you can ask questions in there, and I want you to contribute. If you get in, decide to do this, I want you to get in and do this as well. You've already seen the next one. How do I do this if I don't own a truck? Well, I have put 6 different options on here to give you an idea. And I'm going to just read through them just so you have some clarity. Starting out, schedule several pickups on one day of the week. That way we're maximizing the rental, right? Rent a flatbed truck from either Penske, Home Depot, Enterprise. We got one here called Metro Truck Rental. This is not a CDL type truck. This is the flatbed. Basically, it's like a U-Haul, but it's open, right? It's connected to the cab. There's no swivel, so there's no special license required. And then you want to go execute those orders. So if it's your first week, tell your folks, hey, I do my orders on Tuesdays. I do my deliveries on Tuesday. Pick up 150 pallets from supplier A, deliver them to buyer A at $4 per unit, which equals $600. Okay, it could be $5 or $6 or $7 per unit, but in this example we're using $4. Then go to supplier B that same morning, pick up another 150 heavy-duty pallets, deliver to buyer B at $6 per unit, which would be $900, right? And then you would gross right around $1,500 for the rental. I mean, for the morning, pay out $120 for the rental, $10 for grass, and you would net $1,370. Well, they order again next week, and by next week, not only will you be doing these orders again, you probably have some more added onto it on that one day of a week and maximize that rental. Okay, and I'm going about that in this next spot. And once you put some money aside and alleviate having to do the rental, but the business has bought it for you, then go out and find you a $2,200, $2,500, $3,000 flatbed, older model. You don't need to be flashy. We don't want them to know how much money we're making, right? So mine's 12 foot long, 8 foot wide. You can find them all day long on Facebook Marketplace to a 100-mile radius. Okay, and then you got freedom, right? And you can make this thing, pedal to the metal and make it happen without having to go through the process of the flatbed. But again, I'm big about letting this business buy it for you by doing the rental model first. Option 2, buy an $800 just truck, an older F-150 with a full-size bed. Well, you can fit about 55, 60 on there. And if you have a 100 pallet order, you're going to have to make 2 pickups and deliveries. But we're not going that far, so whatever. And plus, your entry point's lower. Find somebody with borrow a friend's trailer or SUV, or use an SUV to pull a trailer, right? That's what we're saying here. Pay him a percentage of whatever you make that day for his effort. Pay him a rental fee for the trailer, be careful with it, of course, right? It's not your property; it's his, and you want to honor that. But there's plenty of people out there that have trailers just sitting in their driveway or property that would be willing to rent it out to you. Okay. Option 4, go with a partner and split the cost of the training and the truck or the rental, so be it. And if you live in the same area, I do allow partners in the training, but you have to be in the same proximity. Okay. Option 5 is brokering, which is the middleman method that is taught in the training as well. That way you can, you're setting the deals up and you're getting a sliver of the action for setting the deals up, and that's recurring revenue, but you don't have to leave the house. Those pallets are being delivered for you, or built for you and delivered, and you're getting a cut of that action. And you're not restricted even to your area. You can do your whole state under that part of the model. That's taught in the VIP section of the course for fully paid members. Okay? Option 6. This is basically what I just saying about the brokering section, but we're not doing, we're talking about custom pallets with this one, right? Where custom pallets are being built, and we don't have to build them and they're being delivered. You can also broker used pallets and used crates and other stuff as well. That'll be taught to you. So that covers all the different methods you can do if you don't have it as have a truck. In some parts of this model, you don't even need a truck. You could work that part of the model exclusively and never get a truck. So I hope that gives you some clarity there. Where do I get more information? Okay, I want to go over something real quick, and I'm going to actually skip to the bottom. If you saw this recently on the JT Hustle YouTube channel and you're trying to book an appointment, here's I I think I put a link on here. Hold on. Yeah. So this is JT Hustle's channel, and I'm on the third video here. When you open this video up, you click on the title again after it's opened up, and the description of that video drops down below it. There's a link below there that gives you an appointment calendar that's not full up yet, right? Because my normal schedule is full up until August 5th. I'm dating this, but I'm just August 5th of 2020. So a lot of people are going, I can't find an open slot. Go to this link that you see right here. Or if you don't want to spell all this out, the simplest biz, youtube.setmore.com, go to JT Hustle's channel, click on the video, click on the title, description opens up. The second link on there is for the appointment. The first link is for purchase. If you've done your due diligence or this answered your questions, you don't have to book an appointment. You can purchase it right from there. Use that link if you initially saw this on JT Hustle's channel. Okay? I hope that gives you some clarity. I'm going to backtrack here. Where do I go to get for more information? Go to the simplestbizforyou.com/introduction video. And you're able to watch an additional video, explains this in detail. Plus, there's an opt-in form to sign up for some additional information. You have to leave your name and email, okay? And opt in for that. And you'll receive additional emails about this, pointing you in different directions. The simplestbizforyou.com/appointment if you want to ask some questions and find out the cost of the program and ask your questions from what you've seen so far. And we can talk to you about those things and make sure you have a good understanding of what this is before you jump in. Also, search on Google this phrase, how to make more money with the simplest biz, or go to this link right here. Either way, look for this Make More Money report. On that report, I'm going to pull it over. It's going to look like this. Hold on, sticking. Let me pause for a second. So the Make More Money report is going to look like this when you land on it. As you scroll through, you can book an appointment. You can watch interviews of my students. And then the great thing is that there's all different types of links depending on what you want to know about this particular business model. And these take some to videos and different pages. But this is a wealth of information about the simplest biz, okay? And it's a great resource to really dive deep into your due diligence. Got it? So then the other one is, I wanted to show you real quick, the simplestbizforyou.com is a way to get additional information by filling this part out and hitting this send my information now, and you'll be sent some emails plus some bonus material as well. So I wanted to show you that, and let's get out of this one and go back and make sure I haven't missed anything. Appointment, introduction video. We talked about the JT Hustle thing. There are appointments available earlier. I'm sorry, I hate to date videos, but this is what's going on right now. And the last question, is there a lot of startup costs? No, there's not. Outside the training, there is an investment. But outside of that, let's say you did the training and you're doing the brokering model, you don't have startup costs. You might have to have a phone, of course, to contact some people and all that, and an email most likely. But if you're actually doing the A to B model that's taught in the training, and you have a truck or you've rented a truck, the only expenditures would be under $60. You're talking about 2 or 3 crank straps, an invoice book, and some gas. Okay, and a pen. Keep it simple. All right, we'll keep it simple right in the beginning. I know this is a long video, and I appreciate you guys taking time to watch it, but there's a lot of different resources for you folks to be able to find out more about this business, and it's my job to guide you to that and make sure you guys have an understanding of this business model before you do it. And I wanted to go over these common questions, and there's several of them, so I hope I didn't overburden you with information. But again, it's my job to make sure you do understand this before you get into the training itself, to show you how to do it. All the stuff you see on my YouTube channel is what it is after the fact, but we got to get you to that point, and I want to make you an expert in this particular model. So thanks for taking your time and I'll put some of these links into the description. To get to the description on a video, when you click on the title of a video on YouTube, the description opens up underneath it. Okay, sometimes folks don't know how to get to that description, so that's how you do it. That's it. We'll see you in the next one, and we're looking forward to helping you out and talking to you as soon as possible. Take care.